We didn't plan this. We just kept having the kind of conversations that made other women say, why aren't you guys recording this?
So now here we are. Welcome to Closet Chaos and Chair Confessions, where the clothes are cute, the hair's half done, and the truth? Well, it's usually somewhere between emotional breakdowns and outfit changes.
Isn't that the truth? We're talking fashion, hair, business, burnout, and all the stuff that nobody else wants to say out loud.
For sure. It's like therapy, but with better outfits, more cussing, a lot of Midwest charm, and wine. So let's get into it.
Welcome back, everyone, to Closet Chaos and Chair Confessions. I'm Desiree, and I am the owner of Style by Desiree Salon and Boutique. I have two very special women with me today. My co-host Heidi, who's usually always with me.
Hello, everybody.
And we also have Amy, who's based right here in Altoona. She owns Refinery Strength Collective, and I've just connected with her most recently, but been so inspired by her and what she is doing with her business, what she's doing with her personal life, and how that's all like encompassing with everything. That's how she's helping women. And I'm like I said, I'm super duper excited about it. She specializes in women's strength training and tailors programs for individuals managing autoimmune conditions, and we're so excited to have you, Amy.
Thanks, I'm excited to be here.
Thank you.
I'm excited. I have not heard much about you, so I'm so excited to dive in and get into this because, you know, I'm one of those people who buys all of the fun accessories, the resistant bands and all of that, and you know, they're still in their packages in my workout. I don't know about anybody else. I'm sure you have women come in and have all these fun, you know, colored bands and, you know, kettlebells or whatever and don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, for sure. And I think a lot of it has to do with like the different stages we are of like readiness. And so like we can decide that we're like, oh, I need to do something different. I know like my body needs this, but then like the action piece takes a lot of work because like mentally we know we're there, but then like execution just kind of, it takes a lot.
It does. So. I will say personally, I've been through a health journey. I've weighed heavy, I've weighed small, I've fluctuated my whole life, but that was one thing, was working out. I hit it really hard when I was younger. Then I kind of got lax again, and I couldn't really find what worked for me. And then since I went through this weight loss journey, I've kind of found some workouts that work for me. But after talking to you the other day, I'm so excited to learn more about what you do and how you can help women specifically. Like, because one of the things that truly like hit home with me was that one-on-one experience that you provide, and how you truly like hone in on that person and get them where you meet them where they're at, and then get them to where they want to be. So tell me, Amy, kind of like, what was your why when you launched your business, Refinery Strength Collective?
Yeah, it had to do with, I don't know, I started my journey back in like 2013 for strength training, and I got into CrossFit, and like I was like the high school athlete that like did everything but not very talented at anything. Like I was just kind of the workhorse, as they like to call me. I just like showed up, did the practices, did the work, and left, and like didn't complain. And like that was the reason my JV basketball coaches said I made the team, because like I just showed, like, so it was like kind of an example for the talent of the team. Like, guys, just show up and work hard. Like, you are talented, but like this is where like character is built, kind of thing.
Right.
And so anyway, so like not being a very good high school athlete, and I was at a fairly big school, kind of like Southeast Bowl. And so like when you have talent that you have to compete against, like you get cut from teams and stuff like that, and all that jazz. So anyway, there wasn't CrossFit at it, and so when I started dabbling in it, I was like, I'm actually good at lifting. Like, this is fun because like I'm good at it. Like, and so that played into my competitive nature.
Yeah.
But then through the journey, and I did that for like 8.5 years, and through the journey, I just found myself like kind of correcting people and like stepping on some coaches' toes a little bit, but I did try to like be respectful in this, you know, in like where my role was within the space. But I'm having that deep desire to like want to help. And so then I went through a health journey of, I got diagnosed with Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune condition. So my immune system attacks my thyroid, and that's what all autoimmune conditions are. It's when the immune system attacks something. So if you're like rheumatoid arthritis, your immune system is attacking your joints. MS, your immune system is attacking your nerve ending. Type 1 diabetes, your immune system is attacking your pancreas. And so like all of those things are autoimmune. And so then finding out that what I was doing for exercise, CrossFit, like was not serving my body anymore. I was going to workouts 4 to 5 times a week and finding myself saying like, why do I still look this way? I feel like I work so hard for the way I look. And there's gotta be something deeper going on here. And so then, going through multiple doctor's visits to try to figure it out, because going to traditional doctor, Western medicine doctor, my labs would be normal or on the high end of normal. And so everything's fine. Everything's fine. Like, we'll just keep going and go on. I'm like, well, now I'm starting to go crazy because I don't feel fine, which is really, really hard work and very frustrating.
Yes, it is.
And to go find a doctor that will actually listen and like help. And so I finally found one that we pulled the right labs, and she knew even though some things are in normal ranges, doesn't mean it's optimal for you.
Right.
And so then we kind of started doing some protocols and different things. And now I feel a lot. So I got diagnosed August of 21. And so now 4 years later, I'm finally feeling, this past year has been really good.
Good.
So feeling really good. And sometimes, with autoimmunity, you'll have flare days, and sometimes you work too hard or like stress is playing into it and you won't feel good. And so learning how to work out and move around those with what your body's telling you that day.
Right.
So that's a really good segue, because what would you say is probably like the most common misunderstanding or misconception when working out and strength training when you have an autoimmune disease or
I think that they're like, it can be twofold. So I think part of it's like the unawareness. I don't know if unawareness is really a word, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna call it a word.
Yeah.
The unawareness of like, you just kind of think calories in, calories out, or like if I work harder, I'll have results faster, which is not true. Like, especially when you start talking about autoimmunity or you start like getting into perimenopause, menopause, like what did work is no longer working. Absolutely nothing could have changed, but now my body is changing, and what is happening and why. And so then, you kind of have to start like, and like other, like either Western medicine doctors or trainers will say like, we just need to work harder or eat less. Mm-hmm. Well, no, actually, no, like we need to learn our bodies. And that's something that's one of my soapboxes, is that for our culture has always told women, either directly or indirectly, to deny our body's cues, whether it's through dieting. So you talk about intermittent fasting, like you're denying your body's cues of when you actually need to eat.
right.
And like some of the times it can be helpful, but that's like through medical guidance and whatnot. So I'm not demonizing intermittent fasting by any means. I'm just saying like it could not be. It's probably not generally helpful, and it's usually, the research on it is usually done on male bodies, not female bodies. And we are not small men.
Yes.
We are women.
Yes.
And so it doesn't necessarily work or go one in one. And so I think that so there's that aspect, but then the other aspect is my doctor said you really need to stop, because one, I can't check my ego at the door. It's really hard for me to do.
Well,
It's my athlete brain. Yeah, my athlete brain is just won't shut off. Like, I want to win.
Yeah.
And so I do CrossFit because you want to win, so you're going to push yourself. And every single workout, and your body is saying stop. It's big red flags. This is why you're like bloated everywhere, inflamed everywhere. It's why you're on the couch for hours after a workout. Like, you need to stop. And so she's like, go do restorative yoga and walking. And I was like, as a strength athlete, I was like, what? And a woman that like has struggled with her weight her whole life, to like stop working out so hard, there was a lot of fear in that I would just gain more weight.
Yes.
I could, like, it was very hard for me to say, goodbye, because I really thought of myself as a lifelong like CrossFit athlete where I would be doing it forever because I loved it so much. And then like to say, okay, I'm gonna go try this. This is what my doctor's saying, and like I think it starts the healing journey, and like to know why behind it. I think that like just understanding that like, okay, this is just a season. Like I need to get some things under control first, and then we can like go into it. But I do think having a trainer or having somebody beside me that could have been like, well, you don't need to give up strength training. Like we can do this in a way that's actually beneficial for your body, and understanding where it's at. So like really gauging like, or asking the questions, how's your body feeling today? Where can we go with this? Do we need to do less sets? Do we need to do less reps? Do we need to go down on weight today? Do we need to extend our rest breaks or our recovery breaks? What are we doing on our days off between each workout?
Right.
And so just having that constant.
Yeah, I love that you say that, because so many women, I've been on my own health journey the last, like, serious last year. You know, I've always been up and down with my weight and, you know, trying to figure out what's right and what's wrong for me. But this last year has been really awesome for me. But opening up and talking to people has been really awesome, because we are not the same as men.
No.
And we have kind of been told that, well, you know, you need to do this and in the gym and this, and, you know, with you thinking you needed to give up, you know, weight training and all of that. No, there's just a different way to go about it. Right. And I love that, because so many of us don't know how to do this. We know we need to, and we don't want to quit. I don't know. I'm just so overwhelmed with like questions and statements right now, because so many women, I think, struggle with this.
Yes.
And the more we talk about it, I think it's just going to become a norm.
Yes.
You know, people will open up and ask questions. Oh, well, what was your journey like? And what works for me will not, because we are all so different. That's the other thing. Women are so different. Right. Like you said, whether you have an autoimmune disease, or for me, I'm menopause, past menopause almost, you know? So that's been a way different journey. And I don't know. I love that. It's not not a death sentence, but it's, you know, there are options.
Yes.
Yes. And I love that there's somebody like you out there.
And that's what was so inspiring to me, Amy, when I was talking to you, was because there was a couple of things that stuck out to me when I was speaking with you the other day when we were meeting each other.
Yeah.
Is that, one, we've been conditioned as women to think that working out is a punishment, and it's not. It's actually more empowerment, and you have kind of honed that, and the way you're making it empowerment for women is that you are meeting them, like I said, where they're at and asking the questions. You're getting to know them. That is one of the things that we are neglecting in our society. We've just been, as women, quite frankly, neglected. Because each one of us is so different, and we all have different issues going on. And I think it's too broad for these doctors. I was talking to a gal the other day who was in my chair getting her hair done. And she was like, I literally talked to my PA the other day, and they literally spent 45 minutes in school learning about women's health. There is a reason why there is a disconnect. And we as women have to obviously advocate for ourselves, which is why Heidi's like, I think the future is good, but we as women have to be bolder.
Oh, yeah. Because like you said, it's hard. It's hard to advocate for yourself, because you don't know what you're advocating for or how to.
Yeah.
You know, men, no offense, but they've kind of got to be like, they've got so many doctors that I feel like they don't go through the childbirth. They don't go through.
No. They don't have any
No, they don't have any of this. Yeah. So it's.
Wasn't it you the other day when we were having coffee? And I could be totally misthinking this, because I talked to a lot of people during the course of a day. Was it you that said, you know, if this was a man, they already have a pill for things, Viagra and different things, you know, they have a miracle pill for that. Yeah. But, you know, us women, we're still very much behind.
Oh, yeah.
Pace with those kinds of,
well, and like the researchers too, like it's easy to research things that don't have hormonal shifts. So all of our research is based on male data, or most of it.
Yeah.
And so now that we're finally getting some female-centered data, but again, then it starts to look, you're like, these are all women with typical 28-day cycles. And so what about the women that don't have 28-day cycles?
All the time.
Right.
Like my whole life.
What do we do then?
Yeah.
The research isn't going to be helpful
No.
then. And so it's like, honestly, it's a case-by-case study. But yes, I think that was me. Just, we were talking about Amy Schumer's saying on interview.
Yes.
And just saying, like, I spent 8 to 10 years advocating for my own endometriosis, but we have a tube of Viagra.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so what? Like, you mean to tell me that I have to spend 8 to 10 years in pain?
Yeah.
And you just, like,
Give a
get what
guy
you
a
need.
pill.
You
Yeah.
do what you need.
Yeah. I'm not saying we're not complicated, but
Yeah.
I'm saying we need to have more advocacy out there, and that is where you come in, and I think that's so amazing because we need more women out there like yourself. So I'm going to continue to ask you more questions about this, but I want to speak directly to my clients who are listening, to our listeners right now. I really want you to look Amy up on Instagram, look up her website, because I know a lot of you that come in here talk to me about this. I obviously have my own issues with perimenopause. Obviously, we talked about my health journey. Heidi's talked about her health journey. We're all kind of in this same boat right now because we're all middle-aged. We're all just trying to suffer through life right now and figure it out, right? And so I think this is such an, like I said, empowering thing and such a healthy thing for women. What would you say are like the top 3 benefits of strength training for middle-aged women like ourselves?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, we talk a lot about how, like, your metabolism declines. Well, maybe that's not the whole story. Maybe it's actually muscle decline that's leading to this slower metabolism. So, like, because our muscle, how much muscle we have determines our, like, it's called resting metabolic rate. And, or basal metabolic rate, I think. And so, like, the higher we can create that resting metabolic rate, the higher our metabolism is. So that's because we need more muscle.
Right.
Muscle is directly correlated with that. So then, like, helping women understand, like, muscle determines how, like, just really everything in our lives, right? So, like, even how strong we are relates then to all the things that we can do outside of the gym, outside of what the workout actually is. So being able to carry all the groceries in one trip, eventually becoming, like, not having to become fearful of stairs because I might trip and fall.
Right.
Or curbs or whatever. Being able to squat down and pick up our grandkids or nieces or nephews or whomever, like, being able to be functionally strong. So it doesn't necessarily look like being a bodybuilder or, like, have thick muscles, but it's how can it be functional?
Right.
And so, we talk about that, but then, like, that just also, the more muscle we have, the more stress we can put on the bone, the stronger, the more bone density we have.
Right.
So we know the science is saying that bone density decreases, I think it's like 10% every year after, like, 30 or 40. And then once you hit perimenopause, it decreases 20%.
Oh, wow.
It's insane.
Okay, somebody like me who is 50 now.
Yeah.
And I haven't done a lot of working out. Like, can I get back? Can I get that back? Can I some of it back?
Yes, it is never too late to start strength training. And I have some of my favorite, like, influencers or people that I follow. One is Train with Joan, and she started lifting when she was 72.
Wow.
And she completely transformed her body. Like, she's incredible. It's incredible to watch her. Or, like, I had somebody else. Amy Boyd up in Polk City, EA Fitness. She shared a reel of this 95-year-old woman who did a 50-yard sprint or 50-meter sprint 1 year after breaking her hip. Wow. When usually that's a death sentence. When breaking a bone, 60, 70 plus, 50% chance you will not return to baseball function, 30% chance you're going to die from that rate.
Right.
And that is so true. Because, like, we were talking about the other day, my mom owns one of the nurse home, and she sees this all the time. You're 100% right. Yes, if we're not at our age, late 30s, Heidi, like she said, is in her 50s, we need to start looking at that because we're obviously not getting any younger. One, it's health. for us, but two, like going into our later years in life, it's going to help us survive our falls, be able to keep our balance better. We have to really think about that going into our later years of life, because I don't want to end up bedridden.
Right.
Because, a lot of people I see at my mom's nursing home, their minds are so very there and sharp, but their bodies have obviously given out. And so, yes, staying on, putting good things into your body, obviously the strength training and workout and the floor and the balance, you just go into later parts of life. And obviously, like you said, focusing on what is good specifically for you as an individual, so that way you can thrive at your best.
Yeah, absolutely.
And getting with somebody like you, so that way you can pull in and focus on those things and ask the right questions and get to know that person as a true individual.
Absolutely. Right. Like, and it doesn't have, like, you don't have to train with me forever. Like, to be honest, I know that personal training is like a luxury. Like, it is not cheap to invest in a personal training. But to spend a month or two or however long you need to learn proper breathing patterns, to know how to lift weights, to set yourself up so that you don't get injured, to understand your body more, it's worth the investment for that short amount of time to be able to have that longevity in life and vitality.
I come in, like, how do you go about setting up something for the individual? You come in, you have, say, a meeting, you put them through a test of, how much they can lift. And kind of a follow-up question after that.
I mean, we'll just kind of do like a fitness assessment first. One, it's based on also what you told me. Like, what's your fitness history? What's your experience? And that kind of determines where I need to start. And so if it has been a long time or we've never really lifted weights, let's start off with a movement assessment. So I'll take you through a couple squats. Let's see how that looks. Let's see what your deadlift looks like. All these different things. And then I can help navigate where do we actually start? Because it's very intimidating to a lot of women to touch barbell. Oh, no, but let's start out with kettlebells or dumbbells first, and then because people still do kettlebell deadlifts or dumbbell deadlifts before we touch barbell, or squats, goblet squats first. And honestly, that's better for most people. It's a lot easier, and so yeah, it just kind of depends on what the person's at and what their experience.
So I think that's great, because then people really truly know that they're getting that one-on-one and what's best for me. Because like we said, we are all so different, and it's where our journey is starting or whatever. It's very, I love that. So say they, come to you for 2 or 3 months or whatever their time is. Do you, are you able to or willing to, is this part of your plan, if they have workout stuff at home, will you give them
so I do have virtual training options too, where that's going to be a lot more affordable for most people. I have 3 different levels where I'm just send you programming. You're confident enough, you're a self-starter. That's going to be your cheapest and most affordable option. And then you have a level 1 where I meet with you once a month on via Zooms, check in, see how you're doing, adjust as needed. And then level 3 would be meeting via Zoom. And we do adjustments and stuff like that. But then also getting understanding what kind of equipment you have, and also trying to encourage that at some point you need to either invest in more equipment that's heavier, or go find a gym that has more equipment that you can keep stressing your bones and loading that muscle as needed, because your body will adapt to the equipment that you have. But I do think that to lower the entry point or the barrier to sedentary is something that is going to progress. So let's start off with what's going to make you 1% better today. So whether it's nope, I have 10 minutes before the next client comes in, I'm going to go for a quick walk around the building. Those little movement snacks through the day will help build that momentum to keep you going. Or I'm here cooking dinner or throwing stuff in the microwave. Let's rep out 5 countertop push-ups. Yeah. Or however many until the microwave things. Yep. Just building in those movement stacks and start to.
I love that too, because my question was going to be next. What what would be a good workout for like the busiest mom out there today? Because we all hear it every day, all day. I don't have enough time. And I would be completely honest, that was my schedule is so hectic. So what would you say? Like, here's a 15-minute workout plan for the busiest mom out there. Girl, get yourself a movement and we'll go from.
Okay, so to start off with that, we'll do like, let's do 5 sets of like some push-ups, some air squats, and some sit-ups.
Okay.
Do it with your child.
Yep.
And your child can be the weight
Yep.
resistance. And you can do that.
Yep.
Super easy. Or
Easy.
air barrier, like lowers that barrier. And then on the other side of that, on the flip side of that, we're never not busy.
Right.
We're always going to be busy. So what does it look like to actually assess your calendar, your schedule every day, and say, I have to put away this time for myself.
Yes.
Like it's a non-negotiable.
Yes.
So if it's 5 a.m., it's 5 a.m. Now, if you're struggling with your sleep, I don't recommend getting up super early and punishing yourself. Sleep is crucial. If you don't have sleep, you don't have it.
Right.
But then, like, where does it? Then you have to fit it in.
Yeah.
So like blocking off that schedule, blocking off that time. This is the time I'm going to commit to myself. 2 times a week. I think the minimum effective dose for strength training is 2 times a week, 30 minutes.
And honestly,
You can make an hour. You can take away. You can schedule in an hour each week for yourself.
yes, you can. Yes, you can.
You're making an appointment with you for 2 hours to get your hair done for yourself.
Make yourself a priority, and that's what we've been saying. Is you have to give yourself permission to make it a priority. Because, tell me, Amy, what does strength training have on your mental ability versus just physical? Because that's huge. That it all goes hand in hand.
Right. Well, and you had mentioned that, like, how many times do you see in the nursing home, people's minds are super sharp, or their bodies can't do well. How about the opposite? Like, even studies are, I should pull it out, and maybe I'll probably share it on my account again. But I think it was something like some crazy statistic, like 88%. Like, if you're active now, can help, like, with the Alzheimer's.
Oh, I believe that.
Like, it's insane. Literally moving your body is so incredibly helpful for your mental state. I remember there's like days where, like, because right now, like, for me now, at this point in my journey, it's discipline. Like, I will show up, I will do it regardless of how I feel. And that's how you're going to keep moving for a lifetime. Motivation always comes with bills. When anything, you're going to, like, kind of need it to, like, get started, and you'll eventually get there, where your body craves the movement, and you're like, I can't not, like, I have to. But, like, the train just left the station.
That's okay. That happens. We do that all the time. All the time.
We're like, and
So you were saying that the mental health has such an effect on people, because even like studies have shown with dementia how keeping your body moving has helped with that. And that's huge. And you're right. I have seen that study because even just like what you put in your body, food or hydration intake, the proteins, all of that affect long term with your mental state. I totally agree with all of that. So get yourself moving, like you said, 2 times a week for half an hour.
Yeah.
Give yourself permission, you guys. Put yourself first.
Start there. Start, like, literally sitting there, you're not doing anything. Start with a walk right when you wake up. It's like a 10-minute walk. I have this like 3rd-mile loop behind my house. I literally just go out with my dog, 1 loop around, back home, 12 minutes.
That's perfect.
And then I'll try to do it before bed.
And then they're getting me exercise too.
Yeah. Absolutely. So let's kind of transition into like closet chaos confessions. This makes me laugh. This is kind of like the fun part. This isn't the quick fire questions yet. I can't wait to hear what's on your hand. But do you have any, because we have obviously here in the salon dumb moments. We talk about all the time on hiding our hair by ourselves. Takes, what is it, 2 dumb people to make us smart? Because we're constantly like feeding off of each other and one doesn't think of the other.
Yeah.
So do you have any like funny or unexpected things that clients did or said during a workout that you're like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious? Or something even you did during a workout that you're like, oh my gosh.
I I don't know. Well, the one thing that comes to my mind is that even your trainers are not immune to like pelvic floor issues.
Yeah.
So like, I honestly didn't struggle with pelvic floor issues like after my pregnancies, which is weird and incredible and awesome too.
Yeah.
Because like you don't have to experience like that. It's common. It's not normal.
Yeah.
It can be treated. You don't have to settle with that. That being said, I was at a powerlifting meet and I was doing my final deadlift pull. It was heavy, very, very heavy. And I pooped on the platform. And I was like, okay, cool.
So that happened.
That happened. And like, this is going to be like totally embarrassing. But like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, like I ate myself up for the next like 2 days
Oh,
about it. Like I was like, oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing. Like I can't even like, how can I show my face again? Like, because I'm such a perfectionist and like
yeah.
such like I should struggle with these things because like I know better kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I'm just a human.
The rest of the women are like, oh my gosh, she does it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like, once again, the more we talk about it, and they're like, oh, they're struggling too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if we can't laugh about it, gosh,
Oh,
what
yeah.
else? I mean, because you're right. And we talk about this all the time. Anybody who acts like they don't do that kind of stuff is a liar. Because we all are going through it. So, and we've all had those instances. And that's what this podcast is really all about. Because there was so many times where Heidi and I stood behind the chair and we're talking so intensely like this because we're so passionate about what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God, the client in the chair, the person here is like, oh my gosh, yes, okay, I'm not crazy then. No, we're not crazy. We're all going through it at some capacity. Yeah. So let's just all laugh about it while we can. I mean, I think I told you this the other day, I work out at Hotworks frequently. And one of the first things that happened to me when I first started working out there was I got on the cycle. They have a cycle sauna. And I hadn't been on a bike in years. First of all, it hurt my crotch.
That'll do it.
Second of all, it was like intense like weight training on the bike, so she would have me intensify the weight and then back it off and pedal really fast. So I'm going, and then she tells me to move it up to 20, and I'm like I scream, and I think the lady next door thought I fell off my bike. She comes in and peeks her head in, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yes." Well, no, I'm just like
it's not.
I'm having like an intense reaction to the 20 pounds of weight I just put on this flippin' bike. And my crotch hurts. So pray for me tonight.
I will be fine, but not right now.
Yeah. No, so you're right. Like, we all are going through it. And the main thing is that you did, how much weight were you lifting that day? Holy crap.
Oh my.
I whipped my pants. You're lucky you just peed.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that is. Oh, a goal state, girl.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. I have been doing this for like 13 years now. Like, this is progressive overload. I actually had a video pop up on my Facebook history, and it was me like lifting, I think 65-pound deadlift or something like that, or maybe it was 55. And like, I was like, oh girl, so bad. But like, we all start somewhere. It's like we do. You can't expect to go in and lift like. It's not going to happen, and it's not safe. Like, and I'm not going to put you through that.
Right.
Like, if that's what you want to get to one day, like, it's going to take a long time, but we can work on it and get there.
Right.
But like, don't be intimidated or whatever. I hope, like, more than anything, like, I'm inspiring. That inspires you to like, oh hey, yeah, let's get started. You know.
And I think if there's more places, more people like you that are opening up and making it geared maybe more toward women, because I think, like me personally, I don't want to go into a big gym because it's geared toward men.
Yeah.
And I don't want a bunch of men like staring at me like I'm doing things wrong, and I already have like not great self-confidence anyway, so I'm not walking my butt into a gym not knowing what I'm doing.
I mean, I still struggle with like going to a gym.
Do you?
Like, and going into the weight room and like lifting up.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah. I'm like, I'll lift some of that.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm like, ugh.
And you have good form.
And I have excellent form.
Right.
So I still feel that.
So I appreciate you doing this and
Yes.
opening up so that people have a safe, not safe, but you
Yeah.
know, a safe place to feel really
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah.
I can ask those questions that maybe wouldn't be asked in a big gym or something, on that level. So,
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's like a place to feel stupid in figuring it out. Because like if you're not willing to fail, you're not willing to learn.
That's right.
Exactly.
If you have to fail to learn.
That's right.
Absolutely. You do.
So, what would you say? Because you said you've been on your journey for about 4 years now with your autoimmune. What would you say success looks like for you today?
Yeah, I think that's a really great question. I think success looks like a lot of times like actually listening to my body. I think a lot of times I deny the cues that are going on, whether they be physical or mental.
Yeah.
And it's because I think it stems from childhood traumas, obviously, like most of life.
Sure,
For most
we all
people.
have them.
But like, I'm never good enough. And so like the never being good enough, like I want to I am good enough. I'm worthy of being here. Blah, blah, blah. And so like I will deny my body cues, I will deny my mental health, to prove a point. To prove that I'm worthy. And the reality is like I will never be good enough.
Yeah.
And that's where like for me, I'm a Jesus girl, like that's where Jesus comes in for me. Like Jesus isn't good enough.
Yeah.
Because like that's what led me to open Refinery Strength Collective was a very clear, you are done here and you need to do your own thing. And because I worked corporately as a corporate coach in 2 different spots, and I truly love my job. I love my clients. I love empowering women. I love coming alongside of them and seeing their eyes light up and get excited about like, holy crap, I just lifted that.
Yeah.
I never thought I could. I was like, I knew you could.
Yeah.
I've seen you do that.
Yes.
Like, and I've seen the work you put in to get here. And just believing in them. And so like, honestly, it's really hard for me because I really like that group coaching aspect, group fitness, and running around like a chicken with my head cut off and going to all the ladies and encouraging them. And so one-on-one is a little bit more difficult for me. But I'm learning and growing, and like I'm still an incredible coach, even though it's one-on-one. It's just like what fuels me and what fills my cup. But it's still filling my cup, just not in the same way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it was very clear of like, you learned what you need to learn here. Now you're moving on to the next place. You've learned what you need to learn here, and now you're starting your own business. And I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And it's scary. I've been there. I totally get it. And anybody who has been in that situation before knows how scary it is. But you are inspiring, and you are good enough. And don't ever forget that, because I know that that's something I think a lot of women struggle with.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And we're always like running around, like just because it's in our nature, we're always around trying to take care of everybody else. So it's important to also give yourself permission to take care of your
That kind of brings it to another question.
Yeah.
How do you keep your own balance when you're pouring into so many other balance? But
Fair enough.
I think it's I was watching this like reel or clip one day, and like I think it was like a speaker at a college or whatever, and she's like, there is no balance. Like she's like a working mom, like an actress working mom. And so when I'm working on this show, I am leaving my children. I'm leaving them to go do what I need to do, but that means I'm not showing up to their events or their whatever. But when I'm with my kids, there's like jobs that I leave on the table because I'm so it's like realizing what the priority is at that time. And so like sometimes you're gonna have to make sacrifices for other things. And so right now, like building a business and a website, all that stuff is taking a lot of time and a lot of effort and burning the midnight oil. And like I try to be present with my kids when they're up. And then, like, putting them to bed. Dishes are being left in the sink. Laundry is being left at the end of the bed because, like, I prioritize this thing over here. And I'm hoping that over time becomes a little less over there and I can put a little bit more priority over here. So I'm thankful for the people that come alongside me. And so that's a community, right? That can come alongside you, that can help fill in the gaps, whether it's paying somebody to do it or having incredible in-laws or parents that are able to come in and help.
Yep.
Or teaching damn kids to do it. Mine are 7 and 5. And so, like, training them up to do the chores that need to be done because you live here too. And so just like it's it's a thing of like
Trying to find that
trial and
balance.
error, not necessarily balance. Like, what's priority right now,
Yeah.
Right.
and who can come alongside to help me with the other things while I'm trying to make this while this is a priority,
I like
and then
that.
it shifts. So that's kind of the balance aspect of it, but like the priority and what's not, and then shifting that back and forth and back and forth, just so we navigate life.
Yes.
Oh,
It's always going to shift with the seasons.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
And I like that you said that too, because I think that women need to hear that. And that you don't always have to do it all just perfectly, even though we all are trying to be perfect,
Right.
always, all the time.
Right.
And success can look different for other people, and we need to take those small wins when we can. And like you said, gosh, lean on the people that are around you, because it truly does take a village.
Absolutely.
And make sure that you, like, again, we're going back to give yourself permission to be healthy. So if that does look like asking the in-laws to take the kids for half an hour while you go work out,
Or
or
friend.
Fred,
Or you guys figure like you tag team it.
Yeah.
Right? You go work out, she takes the kids, and then you tag team and she can go off
Yeah.
and get her workout
Yeah.
done. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of ways we can kind of make this stuff work.
yes,
Just gotta get creative.
yes. Yeah. Well, with that, let's kind of transition into our rapid fire questions, and then we'll finish up with. I want you to plug at the end of our rapid fire questions exactly how people can get a hold of you to get something set up.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we'll get into fun nitty gritty of you personally.
Squats or deadlifts?
Deadlifts.
Yeah. Coffee or pre-workout?
Neither.
Really?
Yeah.
So, okay.
I do a cleaner energy drink. It's called Gorgi. Gorgi.
Where do you get that?
Target has them right now, but I usually have it on Substack.
Okay, cool.
So
Good to know. We're even heard of it.
I hadn't either. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, favorite healthy snack?
Anything?
Is anything?
Do you like sweet or salty or both?
both.
Okay.
I'm a huge fan of nuts in my baked goods.
Oh.
So both sweet and salty.
Both together. Organic.
Yeah.
Perfect.
What is your pump up song at the
Uh,
gym or when you're working out?
Well, one, in true millennial fashion, I love a good 2000s hip hop.
Right. I was hoping you would say that because that's my jam too.
Yeah. Otherwise, like when the line "Let's go, girls" from Shania Twain drops, I'm like all in.
Let's go, girls.
Let's go, girls.
Yes. I love that.
Okay, one fitness trend you hope disappears forever.
Skinny talk. I think skinny talk's a thing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, kick that in here.
What is that?
Skinny talk. It's like on TikTok. It is, and like it's all about getting small and like being skinny and like kind of like the late 90s, early 2000s, like just like the super skinny whatever out here.
What?
It's
Okay.
no place in this world.
Well, is that because of all of the Ozempic stuff, do you think? Everybody's on Ozempic. Trizepatides these days.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
And
not.
like I think
I've done it.
and I think that there's a time and place for GLP-1s, and I think like definitely having the good education behind them and a doctor that like
It's
knows
managing
what they're doing.
Yes.
It's huge. And not just like, oh yeah, here you go, and then they're off and doing their own thing, because that's not good. You have to prioritize protein, and you have to prioritize your strength training while you're on the GLP-1s. Otherwise, you're losing muscle mass and you're losing bone density.
Oh god. And they don't really talk about that a lot when you do get on these trizepatides, especially. And I'm not trying to like hit bad on med spas or like those other companies, but they are not advocating the protein and the strength training and the hydration and all the
Right.
stuff that you need when you're doing that, because with my health journey, I had to have a dietitian and the doctors follow me because I had the gastric sleeve surgery. So they pushed that, and even with that education and oversight, I still lost a lot of muscle mass and didn't get enough protein.
Yeah.
Still, and I follow the rules. So yeah,
Muscle is our most expensive tissue.
Yeah.
Period. It is the first to go if you're not taking care of it.
yeah, you're not wrong.
Yes.
So skinny talk, I'd never even heard that. Okay, well let's not go down that road. People, we want
We want to
healthy.
be strong.
Yes.
We want to take up space. We want to be loud.
Yes, that's
Just
right.
those things.
Okay, last question here. First thing you do when you wake up in the morning?
Veg out in bed.
Yeah, just kind of like
Walking out here.
Do I have to? I feel that.
Here we go again.
Sleep is super, super important, especially for autoimmune bodies and perimenopause and menopausal bodies. Like, if I don't go to bed on time, like it's to get up in the morning. But no, I usually like try to have breakfast right away, go for a walk. Right now, my season is have breakfast, get the kids out the door to go to school, come back home, take my dog.
I like that. That's very healthy. All right, so I'm just going to recap for you guys. Amy was our guest today. She owns Refinery Strength Collective here based in Altoona. She specializes in women's strength training and tailored programs for individuals managing autoimmune conditions. Tell our listeners and my clients and anybody who wants to get with you, Amy, and do a program, tell them how they can get in contact with you and how that goes.
You can, my website is refinerystrengthco.com, and there you will find a little button that will take you to a discovery call link, and then you can sign up for a quick 20-minute call, and we can talk about like how I can help, what my prices are, all the things like that, what I offer and whatnot. And then social media on Instagram, Refinery Strength Co. And same with Facebook.
Perfect. And just to reiterate to people, this is something that you can do with Amy long term. If you choose to do that route and package, she can walk you through that. Otherwise, this is something too that you can just kind of like she said, do a discovery call, kind of learn what works best for you in your season. She can help me with some of the stuff that I've gone through with the weight loss and how that transition has happened. I know Heidi's interested because of her menopause situation and her health journey. So she has lots of different options for you guys. Like she said, she has like the online portal if you didn't want to meet necessarily in person.
Yeah.
So she's got lots of different options. And when we talked the other day at the coffee shop, I did not think prices were at all out.
Yeah, it's pretty right in line with most personal trainers. And like you said, like you get the added benefit of being in my home studio.
Yeah.
We don't have to be in this huge gym where we're like, you're still self-conscious about what's going on and who's around you. Like we get the privacy of my home, which is really nice.
I think what you're doing is so great for women, and I hope people take advantage of it.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Like I'm really excited to be here and helping. And I have another like personal trainer friend that's just getting started too.
Right. And I love the education behind what you're doing too, because you have the passion, you have the education, you're continuing to learn, and you want to share that with others. I think that's what's going to make you so successful. I really do. And I'm excited for it.
Thank you so much for being here and educating us, because I think it's going to be a great thing and something that we've obviously been lacking.
Strength looks different on everybody, people, and that's what makes it beautiful. So tune in next time for our next podcast. And again, thank you, Amy, for Refinery Strength Collective for joining us today.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. See you next time. That way I didn't trip and fall and break